Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to go in through horror movies that will make you feel ill. Yes, in most cases these are horror movies that are going to make you feel like you want to lose your lunch, and in a couple of other cases ones that just make you feel like a little bit headachy, if that's more of your thing. So finish what you're eating and let's get straight into it. First up we have Bad Taste from 1987, and in this one, if your stomach isn't upset by the gruesome violence and the wonderful Derek character spending most of the time trying to put his brains back into his head after falling off a cliff, the bit that'll really get you, and indeed gets me, is the scene where the aliens all go through this old pastime of barfing into a bowl and then passing it round for them to drink it all back up again. Yeah, it's pretty nasty, and we even get the head of the aliens gleefully exclaiming to the camera about how lucky he is for getting a chunky bit. Yeah, pretty nasty. Now, Bad Taste, as I'm sure most of you know, is played for laughs and is more comedic and sort of over-the-top violence than anything. But I do challenge anyone not to feel a little bit queasy while you see those aliens slurping up that nasty green alien vomit. Great movie nevertheless, but yeah, pretty disgusting. Next up we have Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive, from 1992. And actually one of the earliest memories I remember of me dry heaving whilst watching a scene in a horror movie. And it's the kind of the dinner time scene where Lionel, his mum, who is thoroughly going through a real nasty zombie transformation of her own, tries to entertain her sort of upper class guests, and they just about manage to get through the meal without them noticing that she's fast becoming a rotting corpse, until that is she serves pudding, which is custard. And I'm sure a lot of people know where this is going, but as her guests are happily tucking into the custard, she starts picking away at her zombified arm, which shoots a lot of horrible nasty blood goo straight into the guest's custard. And of course he doesn't notice and proceeds to slurp it all up close up in the camera, and continue to explain how lovely this bowl of custard is. Even now when I watch it, I still cannot get over the grossness of that scene. It still gets me somewhere in my stomach. Funny as hell, but oh my goodness, you'll never look at a bowl of custard the same way again. Next up we have Cannibal for Rocks from 1981. One of my favourite movies, and a movie that I've talked about a lot, but a scene in this movie, quite an understated scene actually, is when they're going for the jungle and they come across this cannibal guy, and he picks up a giant like grub maggot and proceeds to chow down on it, chomping away and smacking his lips rather happily as he eats this giant bug. Pretty nasty. And then also just the general scenes of the cannibals chomping down on human entrails, and they do so with a real kind of squishiness in their mouths, and again chomping down and chaffing the lips while they do it. Pretty queasy stuff, and yeah, always a part of the movie that has kind of got to me, sometimes more than the extreme gore scenes, if I'm honest. Next up we have Event Horizon from 1997. This one's a little different. This is a movie that every single time I watch this, it seems to give me a headache and just makes me feel a little bit ill. I don't know if it's the dark, foreboding, claustrophobic, outer space feel, or the sort of unforgiving, industrial, mechanical feel of everything. It's quite a stiflingly compact film, and I don't know whether that just gets to me a little bit, plus all the kind of nightmare fuel and horrifying imagery that this one throws at you. Yeah, coupled with that claustrophobic feel, this is a pretty hard film to get through in terms of that, and always just seems to drain a bit of energy out of me every time I watch it. Not necessarily a criticism. I think this is a very effective film and has a terrifying concept of this spaceship kind of traveling to hell and back. But yeah, I don't know. I just always seem to feel a little bit ill whenever this one's done. Next up, we have House 4 from 1992. Not a particularly great sequel, and I can see why this one has kind of faded off into obscurity. But there is a disgusting moment in this film which I cannot believe isn't more infamous and more talked about. I couldn't even find many images of this one, so I'm going to just have to describe it to you in all of its nauseating glory. But in this one, William Catt has this brother. He's a shady guy, and he's doing stuff for these gangsters and mob bosses. And he has to go and see this mob boss, who's a bit of a strange-looking fellow. Very sort of short, compact, fat-looking guy, and has a terrible problem with phlegm, okay? Phlegm's all coming out his mouth. He's coughing it up, coughing it down. It's bad enough as it is. But he has this kind of vat next to him, and he's all tubed up. And a lot of his phlegm is going through his throat and into this vat and collecting into whatever it is. And the guy, the brother, does something, or he's upset him in some way. And in this just horrifying scene, up there with some of the worst that I've seen, this guy is kind of held down and forced to drink the phlegmy nastiness that's collecting in this thing next to the mob boss. It's absolutely vile. I'm going there now, just thinking about it and just describing it. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Tonally, it's very off in the whole film, and it is just absolutely disgusting. As I say, one of the worst things I've ever seen, and I can't believe House 4, admittedly it's not a great film, I can't believe it's not more infamous for that one absolutely disgusting scene. So yeah, if you've seen it, hopefully you know, but if not, oh my gosh, prepare yourself for this movie, because it's one of the worst in this examples. Next up, we have The Human Centipede 2 from 2011. And this is another one, not necessarily will it make you feel sick or want to throw up, but just the general look and feel of this one will just make you feel a little bit off. Whether it's the bleak, grainy, black and white look of this one, the actual thing itself of the human centipede and the idea of that, or just the horrible, sweaty antagonist guy and his horrible ways. Everything about this film is off and kind of gross and sleazy and grimy, and it's just palpable throughout the whole screen and as the movie goes on. Just nasty and unpleasant in every kind of way. If you don't feel like you want to throw up, you'll feel a little bit lightheaded, you'll feel a little bit headachy, or you'll just feel a little bit grim in general from watching this one. Really effective in what it does, but yeah, you're not in an exactly great place once Human Centipede 2 is finished. Next up, we have Mansion of the Living Dead from 1982, which is nowhere near as good as what this awesome title card image suggests right here. This one is a real sleeper from Jess Franco. It takes place in like this dilapidated Spanish villa where these hooded zombies shuffling around for a small part of the movie. They kind of look a little bit like the zombies from the Blind Dead films, but it's nowhere near as good as any of those four movies. And this one, it's been a long time since I've seen this one, and I've never had the compulsion to return to it. But I somewhat remember this, towards the end of the movie, there's this woman chained up in a bedroom where they feed her this tray of food. But instead of just eating it like a normal person, she like starts smearing it around the place and eating it, but spitting it out and just making a whole mess of it. And it's a really unpleasant, off-putting scene. If you're eating while you're watching this, it will totally put you off. what you are eating. And yeah, I just remember thinking it was a really grossed out scene and just a downright inappropriate way to mess with all this consumable stuff. Waste of food, if you ask me. But yeah, seeing it get smeared everywhere and go in and out of the mouth and get mushed up was, yeah, really stomach churning. I didn't like that at all and was just completely unnecessary. Alright, next up is one of two heavyweights when it comes to disgusting movies that make you want to throw up. And the first one of these is Melancholy the Angel from 2009. I have talked about this briefly before. I need to do more of an in-depth video on this one, but this is kind of the magnum opus of extreme horror cinema. Everything that you feel constitutes extreme horror is in this movie in abundance. And in this particular instance, for me, it's Marion Dora's unfathomable obsession with bodily fluids. Bodily fluids and similar things flow like wine in this movie. They're all over the place, being smeared all over the place, all over the actors in horrible detail. And it is pretty gross out. Again, how he gets anyone to star in these movies and have all this stuff thrown about the place is a complete mystery to me. But yeah, one of the ultimate will make you want to throw up when you watch this is Melancholy the Angel. As I say, I will try and cover this in a more in-depth video, but for now I couldn't do this list without not including this one. And last movie on this list, and the second heavyweight for movies that will make you feel ill, couldn't do the list without it, is Salem from 1975. And principally for this, it is the consumption of something that you really do not want to eat. So initially, this young woman is forced to eat this fecal matter in one of the most nauseating scenes I have ever seen in a film. I was literally heaving and about to be sick when I watched that scene. And then throughout the movie, it's just served on platters and is all about the place and is just absolutely grim and disgusting. Salem may be the ultimate movie on this list for making you want to lose your lunch. After this, you're getting into sort of like Lucifer Valentine movies, which is a whole different level. But yeah, I challenge anyone not to watch that particular scene in Salem and not be absolutely close to throwing up all over the place. It is that disgusting. So there we go, guys. That is a few horror movies that'll make you feel ill. Hope you managed to keep everything down while you watch this one. Let me know what you think of the movies that I mentioned, and let me know if there's any other horror movies out there that you watch and they make you feel ill. I'd love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.